I'm
Oh,
Samantha with the Alliance Center for Independence of Edison, New Jersey. Today is Thursday, December 8th, and I am here with Nick. Nick, you want to tell me about yourself?
hi, I'm Nick Tomasicchio. I live in Lebanon Borough, New Jersey. Um, I went on permanent disability on March 1st this year. Um, the COVID thing was sort of a nightmare because, well, no, I shouldn't say. Well, it was very difficult because I had gotten sick in October of 2019,
Okay.
and with two problems. One was um, depression, and the other is I had problems with my legs. Diabetic sores, cellulitis, bilateral arthritis. Other things.
Oh, wow.
Then COVID comes. In March of 2020, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't get to doctors. I couldn't get to my therapist. For mental health, um, and I couldn't go to church. I couldn't see anybody, so I was isolated. And at that time, I was living in Chatham on a third floor walk up, which and having I was on short term disability, trying to get long term disability, trying to get permanent disability, and I didn't have any money to pay the rent. And so, in October 1st of last year, I got evicted because that's when the moratorium on evictions stopped. And next thing you know, I'm homeless.
Wow.
Luckily, people from church, gave me money, so here and there I could stay in motels. So by and then I was, the disability people kept telling me I was close. I was close to getting it, not to worry. Of course, I was worried.
Yeah.
So, while I was sort of in this homeless transition thing, I was trying to find an apartment because I had a friend of mine who I knew would lend me the money to, get a place once I found the place. And I did. I found the place I'm in. And he, at the end of December last year, he gave me the money for the first month's rent and deposit. So I wasn't homeless anymore. But I still hadn't gotten the disability because there was one person who was sort of holding the file all of a sudden. I'm like, and then of course the disability people kept saying, well, we're behind because of COVID. So finally I had to get my lawyer, to say to them, to this one person, either approve it or, I'm suing you, and that's so, we had to threaten legal action, and all of a sudden they got approved, you know.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so COVID made a mess of trying to get to my doctor, trying to get to my mental health therapist, and it just really made my depression much worse. And I can't take medication for depression. They tried that once, and they almost killed me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was in a hospital for a knee injury. I asked to see it. This is years ago. I asked to see a Catholic priest, and they slipped me an antidepressant, and I crashed,
Oh,
and I was out for 24 hours.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's why I can't take antidepressants.
So
Um,
obviously COVID affected a lot for you.
yeah.
Did you get the vaccine? Did you look
Oh,
into
as
it at
soon as
all?
oh yeah, I'm vaxxed. I'm boosted. Everything. I
Okay.
believe I'm pro-vaccine. I have my flu shot already. Um, I've always believed in vaccinations. I did my research, whether through the Star Ledger newspaper or online.
What
Um, you know,
resources did you use? Like, what
well, most
resources did you trust the most?
I would say the Star Ledger.
Okay. Why is
Their
that?
newspaper. Because I've always read their newspaper, all my life, and I've trusted them. And of course, I consulted with my physician.
Okay.
And he said the only thing is make sure when you either get the vaccine or the booster, make sure you separate the flu shot by 2 weeks.
Okay.
Don't get them the same day. Don't, you have to separate them. A friend of mine made the mistake of getting the COVID vaccine and
Oh, yeah.
not the same day. And he had a stroke a couple of weeks after that. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So,
Okay. So he had issues getting both at the same time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and
Is he
he passed away a couple of weeks ago. So,
okay now?
no, no. Well, no, he had a stroke. No, he passed away a couple of weeks ago from the stroke.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Luke knew him very well. We were both very close to him. So,
Oh my goodness. So,
yeah, yeah. But I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not aware of anybody in my family having it, but my family isn't very good about telling each other things, especially like medical
communication.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my brother's in South Carolina and my sister's in Western Pennsylvania. And they don't really share their medical stuff with me. I share my stuff with them, but they don't share. And, what can I do?
To
Can't
each
force
his
them.
own. Yeah. So, is there anything else, like, do you think there's any other way they could improve, like getting more information out about the
Well,
vaccine?
I think might help if I remember seeing President Biden, taking the vaccine, but maybe local politicians would work with, like, say, local newspapers and, have photographs of them taken and published in like local newspapers. Maybe that might help. Um, and showing it on local access TV. Um, and maybe that New Jersey News 12 station.
Oh,
Um,
that's my favorite.
and yeah, and we have to see politicians, we have to see celebrities, sports stars, in the seat rolling up their sleeves and being photographed, being videotaped, whatever. I think we need to see more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe members of Congress should be seen, in the Senate House or the House of Representatives, sitting in a chair, getting flu shots, getting the COVID shots.
So, do you think everyone had like the same access to all this information that you did? Like
I
equal
don't.
access?
No, I don't. I imagine there are people out there who, um, can't get to a library. Maybe
Like
people.
how you were just saying how you
Well,
had
maybe not
trouble
everybody has.
with
Well,
a household security, like so if
yeah.
was someone who was homeless, like would they have the same access? Like,
No, no, no. And maybe if somebody's homeless, maybe they go to the library. But maybe somebody homeless might not have a smartphone or even a radio to listen to. Uh, Certainly couldn't afford the new price of newspapers.
yeah,
So unless they're within walking distance of a library, they're kind of screwed. And it's maybe the government should have these big vans and go around to where people who are home insecure are and say, hi, we're here to help you. Do you want a flu shot? Do you want COVID? Do you want a blanket? What can we do for you?
that would be a
It
good
has
idea.
to be, yeah, that more outreach. And um you got to get the press behind it. You got to get them to showcase what's going on. Maybe a better outreach to people who are food insecure or home insecure might help resolve their issues. Maybe, not just offer them a flu shot, but offer them something to help them.
Okay. And I think that's exactly what the YMCA Alliance is trying to do. So
Yeah.
that's why we're trying to find out more. Is there anything else you wanted to share that we didn't talk about COVID, about the vaccine?
Well, I urge everyone to get it. Um, I must be one of the rare ones. I didn't have any reaction to it. I
Great.
don't. I never have reactions to vaccines, and I psych myself up thinking I'm going to feel better getting a vaccine. Maybe if somehow we can change people's minds instead of fearing a vaccine, maybe talking them into saying, but you're going to be better with the vaccine.
Change the perception. Okay.
Yeah, change the perception. Yeah, thank you. That's the right word.